Nairobi morning. EARLY morning in Nairobi. Sunlight spilled over the Holy Trinity Church's red brick spire like molten gold. Inside, the organ played softly, like a flowing stream, while the choir sang Amazing Grace, their voices so pure it felt like they could wash away the deepest dirt in your soul. Everyone was dressed in their Sunday best, men in RP suits, women wrapped in colorful kanga dresses, headscarves neat and tidy. The air smelled like jasmine mixed with sandalwood incense, just as everyone settled into that sacred peace. Beep, a ha-rsh electronic screech cut right through it. Every head turned toward the front. There stood Amos Mutua, the big-shot construction contractor everyone knew, usually striding around, talking like he owned the place, frozen stiff in front of the offering basket. That sleek black credit card in his hand rejected for the third time by the little machine. The screen flashed an ugly red. Transaction failed. Account frozen. Impossible. Amos hissed under his breath, sweat popping on his forehead. Fumbling, he pulled the card out, checked it wasn't upside down, wiped the magnetic strip, shoved it back in. Failed. Third try the machine just went black. Dead silence in the church. Even the choir stumbled. People whispered, eyes locked on Amos like laser beams. Murmurs drifted around, that's Mr. Mutua, isn't he the guy who just landed the new airport project? He owns several cars. How come his card doesn't work? Bet he crossed the bank somehow. Amos's face flushed crimson, then purple, then a sickly green, as if every drop of blood had fled his body. Standing there before the altar, he looked like a statue nailed to the spot, his dignity shattered like glass. Without thinking, his eyes flew to the front row, to his wife, Marga Ret Mutua. Marga Ret sat calm as the lake Near her home. Her deep blue kanga was elegant, headscarf smooth over her black hair, hands folded neatly in her lap. She didn't look at him. Just bowed her head slightly, lips moving silently in prayer. Then, she slowly lifted her eyes towards him. A tiny smile touched her lips. It was Rely there, like a puff of wind rippling the surface of deep water. But it sent a tidal wave crashing through him. That moment, Amos's stomach dropped to his shoes. She knows. She knows everything. Looking back, the girl by the lake. Marga Ret grew up in a Luo fishing village on Lake Victoria. Her dad was the quiet fisherman, her mom the village healer. As a kid, she'd sit by the water, watching her father cast his nets like black silk onto the surface, listening to her mother tell the old stories. The Luo say women are the taproot of the family, the guardians of the land. But the truth, so many women spent their lives trapped between king pots and children. Their names Rely whispered outside their homes. Marga Ret refused that. Days were spent gathering herbs with her mom, nights hunched over books by the flickering light of a kerosene lamp. Top of her class always. Smashed exams landed a spot at Nairobi University for economics. First time she saw tall buildings, cars, computers, she soaked it all up like a parched sponge. Graduated, but didn't stay in the city climbing some corporate ladder. Went back home. Used what she learned to help the villagers sell dried fish and herbs at city markets. Taught herself to track costs on a phone, text buyers, even use simple Excel spreadsheets. Folks whispered, Marga Ret, you make more cash than any man around. Her ma riage to Amos sta route as a family deal. Amos Kikuyu guy making waves as a builder in Nairobi. Big dreams, RP elbows. Wedding day whole village parv-tied. Drumbeats shook the EARTH. Everyone said Marga Ret had landed a golden rice pot. Life after the vows, not the fairy tale. Amos was always out, schmoozing, nights away. He'd throw out, tradition allows multiple wives like an excuse. Marga Ret knew his tradition was just a shiny word for keeping mistresses, showing off. She never raised her voice or caused a scene, just quietly built the family's Mombasa coconut oil export business. Registered a company, set up an online store. Sold cold-pressed, organic coconut oil straight to Germany, Canada. Never bragged. Never complained. Just proved, with every cent he earned, a woman can do more than run a home. She can build wealth. The web she wove 3 years back, Amos had this big idea for family philanthropy. Suggested a joint fund to help poor students build village clinics. Margaret said yes, absolutely. But with one condition, she managed the main account. Amos just brushed it off. What do you know about finance? I'll handle it. Margaret smiled. I just want to make sure every shilling hits its mark. Quietly, she partnered with a local fintech company. Built a family wealth protector system. Every single cent that moved recorded on a system that never forgets. Any big money going out needed her green light on her phone app. Face scan and fingerprint, both. She even set up a weird spending a la RM. If the same place kept getting hit hard on the card back-to-back, the system would flag it. Amos thought he was the king of the cash. Nah. He was just a user on her network. That fancy black card just a pawn in her hand, calm before the storm 3 nights ago. Margaret's secure messaging app, Saudi, lit up with one line, Mrs. Mutua. Look at this. Attached 15 seconds of grainy security footage. There he was. At the Westgate Center Gucci store. Amos, grinning like a fool, a RM wrapped tight around some young woman. Dyed blonde curls, dress clinging. Sarah, that Rwandan model blowing up on Instagram. Amos picks up a Gucci bag. Swipe. Screen shows, 1.2 million shillings. Prada sunglasses next 800,000. Then a Tiffany necklace 700,000. 3 hits. Total 2.7 million shillings. About $16,000 US. Felt like a needle stabbed her heart. But she didn't cry. Calmly, she opened her family wealth protector app. Scrolled back 3 months. Line after line, Westgate Center, Sarah Rwandan, luxury goods. Grand total flashed cold and clear are 4.7 million shillings. Remembered last year, son needed money for Cambridge application fees. Asked Amos. He'd frowned, family's tight right now. Wait for the next payment on that job. That same month 900,000 shillings for a handbag, for Sarah. Margaret switched off the phone. Walked to the window. Nairobi stars glittered outside. So, she whispered to the night, you think I'm just a housewife? Fine. I'll show you what a housewife can do. To protect her home. Sat down at the desk. Typed in a long key, made of family symbols and dates. Clicked emergency lockdown. The screen blinked, Prima account locked. All secondary transactions suspended for 72 hours. Closed the laptop. Folded the bedspread for next Sunday. Picked out her church clothes. Just another quiet night, the altar showdown. So, that brings us back to the church, to the service. Amos blocked Margaret's car in the parking lot. Face still gray. Voice tight, low. Have you lost your mind? That CARD's for the foundation. You know I just won the Mombasa port tender. I'm meant to wine and dine the transport minister tomorrow. You're destroying me. Margaret rolled down the window. Still calm. Unlocked her phone. Pulled up a cha RT3 rs, she said, holding the screen towards him. That CARD fed your friends 4.7 million shillings. Our eldest son asks for Cambridge funding last year. You say money's tight. She paused. Words sharp as a knife's edge. Have you forgotten about those 2 abortions to save your precious political image? Forgotten which woman's bed you were in when our first daughter was born? Amos had no words. Nothing. Margaret sta root rolling up the window. Left him with one final slice, account lock 72 hours. Think long and hard about what home really means. The CAR glided away, leaving Amos standing alone like some forgotten statue. The church bells sta root tolling in the distance. Dong. Dong. Dong, each one hammering against his ribs. He knew it right then. This was just the opening salvo. His wife, the one he dismissed as just a housewife, had already spun her web. Tight. Inescapable. The real storm was coming. Amos's empire crumbles. Amos's empire felt like a palace built on sand. Sta root collapsing overnight. Squeeze first came the suppliers. Ka Ru, a steel guy from Mombasa, stormed in. Amos, where's that 300,000 shillings you promised last week? 5 kids at home who need to eat. Amos tried to brush it off. Project payments late, just give me a few days. Ka Ru just sneered. Days you were swiping for Gucci bags at Westgate for your side piece yesterday. Everyone knows your CARD choked in church. Then came the government auditors. Suddenly, his big Mombasa port deal put on ice. Full financial review required. Amos called his buddy at Transport Ministry. The voice was frosty. Bad timing, mate. Eyes a re-watching. Sort out your home situation first. But the knockout punch. Social media. His ex-fling, Issei Ra, posted a video from Nairobi's fancy Cloud 9 rooftop bar. Red nails tapping, sipping a drink through a straw. She smirked at the camera. Some men can't even swipe a CARD properly. Still talking queen life. Ladies, lesson. A man's promise ain't as real as the cash in your own bank. Hashtag Gucci-gate exploded. Thousands of Shah-Rez. Amos lost it. Phoned Issei Ra, screaming, take that down, Issei Ra. I'll ruin you in this city. She just laughed. Ruin with what? You can't even pay for a coffee, honey. He hung up. Sank into his fancy leather office couch. Outside, Nairobi traffic ROA red. Inside dead silent. That tiny smile Marga Rhett gave him in church, it wasn't victory. It was a judgment. The terrifying thought hit him. The wife he dismissed as just the bookkeeper held all the keys. She could break him. Under the mango tree. Marga Rhett didn't chase her advantage. She knew power here, in East Africa, runs deeper than bank accounts. It's in blood. It's in tradition. She went back home to her Luo roots by Lake Victoria. Called a meeting of the elders. 7 old men gathered under the biggest mango tree in the village, sitting on worn wooden stools, their staffs of wisdom resting beside them. Women sat in a ring further out. Kids played quietly in the distance. Marga Rhett stood up. No TRS, no shouting. Just opened a waterproof laptop, she'd bought for the village co-op. Played a quiet video she'd made, Amos's flashy CARD swipes. Chat screenshots. Cold, HARD financial trails. Proof he'd funneled family money into some secret Seychelles account. Fathers, she spoke softly, firmly, in Luo, 12 years I've been a mutua wife. Bore Amos 3 sons and a daughter. Never asked him to slow down for me. Fed my children with my own hands. Built schools for our land with my sweat. But now, our family's wealth, the blood of our children's future, is being drained by an outsider. This isn't just about cash. It's about our roots. Let this go, and our grandchildren will own dust. The elders sat silent. To the Luo, familia is sacred. The trail that's spitting on the ancestors. The oldest finally rose, leaning on his staff. Where is Amos? He must answer for this. Marga Rhett shook her head. He's in the city. Still playing king to his queen. But I know, RT of him is still here. A mother's wrath word got back to the city. Amos's mother, a respected traditional midwife from the Rift Valley, jumped on a night bus. 70 years old, back bent, but eyes sharp as knives. She walked straight into Amos's mansion. Didn't sit down. Just slapped him hard across the face. Thwack. The sound echoed in the huge, empty living room. You bring shame on your blood, she roa read in Kikuyu. What is Marga Ret your true wife? Your children's mother. The woman our ancestors accepted. And you use her money for a Rwandan nobody forgotten the Luo saying, a cracked pot spills the morning dew. You cracked your own heart. You broke your home. Amos crumbled. Fell to his knees. Sobbed like a little boy. Mum. I messed up. I couldn't stop. Her voice was pure ice. A man's lust burns like wildfire. But a woman's wisdom flows like water. Marga Ret used her machines to freeze you, that was her way. But to come back you use our way. You atonement. The deal next day, a document arrived for Marga Ret, Amos's signed family reconciliation agreement. Terms, public apology to Marga Ret and the clan. Cut sa ra off. Completely. For 3 Rs, 30% of company profits go into the Mutual Women's Education Fund. Rigole are financial reports checked by the family elders. Marga Ret didn't sign immediately. She took it back to the elders. They agreed to a time of atonement. But with one condition, the apology had to happen publicly. In church. Confession in the chapel next Sunday. Holy Trinity Church was packed. Everyone wanted to see the guy whose card bounced. Eat humble pie. Amos walked to the pulpit. No fancy suit. Just a plain white shirt. No black credit ca road. Only a worn Bible. His voice shook, but ca ride clear I got lost. He paused, took a deep breath. Bought vanity with money. Traded truth for cheap thrills. Forgot what matters. The trade my wife. My children. My family. The trade God's own grace. Marga Ret. I'm sorry. I ask your forgiveness, and the watchful eyes of this community. Silence. Then, slowly, applause sta root. Soft at first, then building, roa ring through the church like thunder. Marga Ret closed her eyes, prayed. Trs slipped down her cheeks. This wasn't the end. It was the rocky start of something righter. Forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's choosing not to let the hate lock you in. Troubled waters, and a glimmer, but the storm didn't lift. Amos's rivals moved in. A nasty little paper, the East African Express, ran the headline, Mutua meltdown, builders' credibility crashes. Ugly rumors bubbled, people whispered Marga Ret used witchcraft to freeze Amos's money. Worse, sa ra wasn't finished. She teamed up with gossip rags, accusing Marga Ret of mad jealousy, of being a hacker wife who stole her husband's cash, even hinting she dealt with RK spirits. Marga Ret didn't yell back. She did something no one expected. Sent sa ra a text, tomorrow. 10 a.m. Open day at the Lakeside Women's Co-op. Come see what a life looks like. Built by women. Without men's money. The cracked pot that night, at the co-op hut, Marga Ret made a clay pot. For the Luo, a pot is family. She worked the wet earth with her hands, telling her assistant, see this crack. We don't throw it away. We fix it. Fill the breaks with golden powder. The SCAR stays, but it's stronger now. They call it kintsugi in Japan. But our ancestors knew it too, the light gets in where it's cracked. The assistant asked softly, Madam. Will you truly forgive him? Marga Ret stopped working. Looked out at the star speckled sky. Forgiving him, that's for me. Not for him. I won't let hate be the home I build for my children. Sa ra actually showed up. Next morning. High heels sinking into muddy village paths. Stood out like a sore thumb, she saw women laughing, sorting coconuts. Kids chanting lessons in the new classroom. Mobile phones buzzing non-stop with co-op orders. Amina, a girl who once walked the streets, now the co-op manager, earning more than Nairobi office workers. Ra watched. For a long time. Silent. Just before she left, she spoke quietly to Margaret. I thought love meant designer tags. A man swiping plastic. Didn't know another way existed. Margaret handed her a small vial. Try this. Mala Mubri coconut oil. Real light at starts inside. Where you're strong. Ra took it. Turned. Walked away, her shadow stretching long in the setting sun. Margaret stood at the co-op door. Watching the horizon. The rainy season was coming. The EARTH needed washing clean. Hearts needed it too. That cracked clay pot bit by bit, the golden lines were rooting to hold, wind before the rains, the wind before the rainy season swept across the slopes near Lake Victoria, carrying the damp smell of the lake and the rich scent of EARTH. Margaret stood watching workers load crates of Mwiri, Swahili, light of resilience, organic coconut oil onto trucks outside the Lakeside Women's Cooperative New Wari House. This shipment was off to Cape Town, South Africa, destined for high-end health stores, and then Europe. Just 6 months old, the co-op already employed 47 local women. 12 single mums. 3 who used to trade their bodies just for food. Now steady income. Kids in school. Homes with electricity and clean water. But Margaret wasn't done. She brought in Heartwarming experts to teach them natural fertilizer. Techniques for coffee beans. Linked up with designers to blend traditional Kanga patterns into modern SCAVs. Teamed with a Nairobi tech firm on a traceability system, scan a bottle, see the exact tree it came from, meet the woman who harvested it, even hear her Luo blessing. Don't just sell products, Margaret told her team. We sell dignity. We sell hope. We sell the work of African women's hands. Amos's stone labor. Meanwhile, Amos's own labor of atonement was underway. Gone were the Shah RP suits. He wore work boots and denim, leading his own construction crew building a new school back in his Kikuyu home village. He used his company crew, but insisted on paying for all the materials himself. Day after day, he stood under the punishing sun, shirt soaked through with sweat, overseeing the work. He even live-streamed it. At first, the comments were savage, look at Mr. Card Bounce doing manual labor. But slowly, the images rude to shift things, the eager eyes of village kids, women bringing fresh coconut water, the steady rhythm of bricks being laid. Comments changed, this is a real man, made mistakes, but trying to fix them. Crucially, he opened his company books completely to the Mutua Women's Education Fund Oversight Committee. The first 30% profit chunk landed in the fund. Enough to send 15 girls through high school. Deep waters still flow, the surface calm hid churning depths. Amos's big rival builder, Kasim, still craved that Mombasa port deal. He paid off reporters at the East African Express. Their front page screamed, Mutua meltdown, is Amos still fit to build? Slyly hinting the project might crash and burn. Banks froze his loan applications cold, whispers against Margaret spread through the villages like poison. Flyers read outside churches, Margaret uses jinxes. She gains with night spirits for wealth. Old man Ned villagers, stay away from her co-op. That coconut oil has de spells. Worse Ra resurfaced. Sold a tea exclusive to the gossip rag Nairobi Mirror, Margaret's green with envy. Froze Amos's money because I'm beautiful. She hacked his accounts. Sent goons to me. She's no good wife, she's a control freak. The article featured a picture of Ra holding her own credit card receipt, declined. Clea RLY faked, the public tide turned again. People sta root feeling sorry for sa ra. Turned on marga ret, that wife is ruthless. Fighting fire with. Grace attacked from all sides, marga ret didn't lash out. She knew better. Here in Africa, whispers can kill quicker than bullets. Truth needs wisdom to win. Her move, she invited sa ra back to the co-op. An open day. Full filming. Total transparency. Posted all. Sa ra refused flat out. But reporters were sniffing. Public curiosity so red. Under the pressure she caved, the open day reckoning sunny day. Sa ra arrived. Sky-high heels, tight dress. Clashed wildly with the muddy co-op paths. She saw a widow over 50, glowing with confidence, using the accounting software marga ret taught her young girls running mobile phone live sales in e-commerce training. Their laughter bright. Kids drawings plastered on a wall, coconut trees, new classrooms, rainbows scrawled with thank you marga ret mama. The real gut punch was Amina. The girl who used to walk the streets, now clean in her co-op uniform, talking fluent English on a video call with a client in SA. After UARDS, Amina walked straight up to sa ra. Calm. Clear-eyed. We both got called bad women. But here. USTART fresh. Madam marga ret made that door. Sa ra said nothing. Stood silent. Thinking of her own childhood in Rwanda. Dead father. Mother selling maize cakes just to survive. She came to Nairobi. Hungry for a better life too. Just took a wrong path. Leaving, sa ra ignored the journalists. Walked to marga ret instead. Voice low. Thought love meant designer tags. Man swiping plastic. Didn't know any other way really existed. A pause. Then the quiet blow, sorry. Marga ret handed her a small vial. Try this. M.A.R.A.M. weary. Real light STARTS inside. Where you're strong. Silencing the whispers. As for the witchcraft, marga ret went knuckly, are called in the village traditional elders and the Christian pastor. Together, they held a big, public cleansing and blessing over the entire co-op and its products. Elders burned cleansing herbs. Pastor prayed out loud. All live streamed. And she went further. Dumped the co-op's entire financial records, sourcing lists, worker details, online. Her challenge to the world, come look. Ask anything. Truth washes clean. The DRK whispers dried up like mist under the sun. Villagers saw the truth. Lines formed to join the co-op. Even the man who put up those nasty flyers came back, granddaughter in tow, wanting weaving lessons. Planting before the rains. Just before the rains hit, marga ret led the co-op women up the Ba slopes behind the building. Planting 1,000 fruit trees, mango, avocado, papaya. Each woman claimed a sapling. Hers to nurture. Today, marga ret stood high, looking out. We plant more than food. We plant roots of dignity. Shade for the future. When our children are regrown. The fruit they bite came from our hands. The path they walk, we paved it. The women cheered. Drums sta root pounding. Not war drums anymore. Drums of unity. Drums of peace. Amos among the trees. Amos came too. Dug clumsy holes in the EARTH. marga ret walked over. Showed him how to place the sapling just so. How to tamp the EARTH firm. How to water gently. Few words passed between them. But the air felt quiet. Settled. Like old storms had finally blown past. At night, Amos wrote in a battered notebook, thought strength came from cash and power. Today digging holes. Watching women laugh and plant trees. That strength. Lifting others up. Marga ret, you always had it. I was just blind. Night falls, rain comes, chapter end, darkness settled. WARM lights glowed from the co-op buildings. Marga Rhett sat by a window. Flipped open the co-op's latest numbers, best profit month yet. Orders booked 3 months deep. A soft ping from her phone. An email. Cambridge University. Their eldest son. Full scholarship. All costs covered. She closed the laptop. Walked outside. The first soft drops of the rainy season began to fall, whispering onto the thirsty earth, kissing the newly planted saplings. Marga Rhett looked out into the wet night. This rain, it washed the dust of old fights from the leaves. It promised new life. Strong growth. Right here, on African soil, 1 year later the slopes above Lake Victoria were bursting with life. Those 1,000 fruit saplings they'd planted thick with leaves now, heavy with fruit. Golden mangoes, emerald green avocados, fiery orange papayas, like jewels scattered across Africa. The lakeside women's cooperative tripled in size. Mara Mwiri coconut oil wasn't just in South Africa and UAE, it landed on the shelves of London's high-end department stores. The co-op grew to 120 members. They even added a daycare center and a women's health clinic. Amos's company found its footing again too. Playing it straight and keeping the books wide open landed him a long-term gig with an international green group, building eco-lodges for wildlife parks across East Africa. The Mombasa port project finished on time. At the ribbon cutting, a government bigwig shouted him out. Mutua Construction didn't just rebuild concrete. Rebuilt its reputation. The Gicho Festival calls the Luo's big Gicho Festival rolled around. Time to feast on the harvest, thank the ancestors, and bring the whole clan home. This year was different. Marga Rhett announced they'd bring back an ancient honor, crowning the Mother of Wisdom. Last time it happened a century ago. Given to a chief's wife who fought colonizers. News spread like wildfire. Festival day. Lakeside was packed. Flags flew. Drums shook the ground. Women blazed with color in their kanga wraps. Men wore headdresses bright with feathers. Kids' faces painted with clan symbols. A bonfire, taller than a man, ROA red in the center, crackling with life. Elders sat high, holding their staffs. Marga Rhett walked slowly to the main stage. Dressed in deep purple, silver shining in her hair. No speech. She played a video instead. Beaming co-op women. Kids studying in new classrooms. Amos bossing a construction site, respectively. Tree branches sagging with fruit. Finally, a still shot, the Mara Mwiri logo, a sun rising over lake and mountains, the head elder stood. Voice booming, Marga Rhett Mutua. You ride this family with wisdom. You fed the land with kindness. You built the future with rock-strong spirit. Today, we name you Mother of Wisdom. May your light guide the Luo children, now and always. Cheers exploded. Drums hammered the sky. Marga Rhett bowed, TRS bright in her eyes. The new pot. The moment turned. Amos stepped onto the stage. Cradling a smooth clay pot. It's clay dug from Lake Victoria's bed. Painted with Luo wave patterns and Kikuyu mountain peaks, 2 families, 1 vessel, in their world, a broken pot means a broken home. A new pot that's a promise to start fresh. He held it out to Marga Rhett, voice thick. I'm sorry. Thank you, for not letting me smash this family to pieces. This pot. It doesn't hold water. It holds our new beginning. Marga Rhett took the pot. Set it gently on the altar. Faced the crowd. Accounts can be unfrozen. Trust that takes time. But today I choose to believe, tomorrow can be better. Applause. ROA read again. Kids rushed 4-way RD, piling flowers around the pot. The beat takes over. Night fell. Feast smells filled the air, roasting goat, spices. Dancers pounded the EARTH in the fierce Ogongo rhythm. Drummers pounded huge wooden drums, the beat slow and deep, then faster, wilder. Margaret walked to the drummers. Took the mallets. Not an expert, but her beat hit true. Not a war chant. A reconciliation rhythm, blending the calm Lua waves with bold Kikuyu peaks. People joined. Women linked arms, circling. Kids danced in the middle. A drone buzzed overhead, its camera showing the crowd below. Under the moon, they'd formed a giant infinity symbol. Meaning, no limits to what women can do. No limits to Africa's future. Margaret shouted over the drumming. Africa's tomorrow not in men's fists. Not in women's TRS. It's in this beat, together. Pull as one Bari hills turn green. Cracked pots hold sweet water. Keys, not handouts. The Mutua Women's Education Fund bore fruit too. Of the 15 girls it sent to school, 3 cracked university. 1 for doctors. 1 for builders. 1 aiming to be a judge. Amina, the girl who walked the DRK streets. 1 top prize in the East Africa e-commerce Startup Challenge. Her idea, Village Mamas Sell Online, set to launch in 10 villages. At the funds meeting, Margaret said simply, "We didn't hand out charity. We cut keys. Education unlocks poverty. It opens freedom." Lakeshore embers late. The crowd thinned. Margaret and Amos sat on smooth stones by the water's edge, watching the bonfire fade to glowing coals. Kids snored softly in tents. Nerby, she touched his hand. "The account, it's unfrozen. But the main controls, I'll keep them. Not doubting you. Making sure we decide together. For our family." Amos nodded. "I'm learning. This time use my eyes. Use my heart. Don't need a piece of plastic to feel big." The lake lay flat as glass, mirroring a sky dusted with stars. Night birds called. Shah RP and Clea are in the quiet. Margaret whispered, "Remember our wedding day?" Dad said. Margaret, "A family's like a clay pot. Carry it gently." Now I get it. Gentle isn't weak. It's duty. And fixing what's broke. That's brave. Amos looked at her. "You were always carrying it." I wondered. "You never dropped it." A Shaw-red smile. Words weren't needed. Just then, the co-op phone buzzed. A message from South Africa. Mara Mwiri picked as the official International Women's Day gift. First order, 100,000 bottles. Margaret looked from the phone to the star-strewn sky, a quiet smile blooming. "Listen." Hear that faintly, from somewhere across the DRK land, a lone drum began to beat. Slow. Solid. Strong. That beat told a story, of a woman waking up. Of forgiveness that didn't forget. Of a life born anew. A story whispered under African stars, for anyone who dare residential to hope that tomorrow holds the light.